it's a really tough time. I'm finding personally that this is one of the toughest times that I've had in a while. By the way, this is the daily Landsblog for the 27th of March, 2020. And yeah, hey, Riggs. Oh my gosh, he's going back to.
This in it forever.
Yeah, you gone back to being a puppy from all the stress? I'm finding. I'm just finding it really difficult right now, and I think that at the heart of the problem is anxiety for me that started probably when I was.
He's eating the selfies.
Hey, Riggs. Hey, Karen, you want to call him?
Wrigley,
You want to
touch.
give him a treat?
Come here. Come here.
He's not going there. When I was 5 or 6, I started to have these fears that were not rational. And I think what happened over the course of my life was that I started to magnify rational fears in a way that other people didn't do. So, I would worry about things that others would worry about a little, I would worry a lot. And now we're in a time when there really is something legitimate to worry about. The coronavirus has really overcome the world, and I'm finding it really a challenge. And I'm not sure whether it's based on anxiety that I have that's been smoldering, or if it's just the fact that we're all kind of freaked out by it. I've never lived in anyone else's head, so I'm not sure what's normal. But, how are you feeling about it? How are you coping with it? What is your level of anxiety? And I can tell you that I've been trying to read everything that I can about it to get advice for me and for you as well. And perhaps the best advice that I've heard is to turn the TV off, to stop being on Twitter, to stop following the progress of the virus like it's I don't know, like it's a race car race, like it's the Indianapolis 500 and you're watching the car go around and we're watching the virus and you see the numbers going up and you realize they're doubling every 4 or 5 days and you go, oh my God. And then on television you hear about the worst imaginable cases. You hear about ERs where people are dying in the hallway, and you watch that, and it's really difficult to have a perspective, because even though this is the most horrendous thing that many people have gone through, still our chances are pretty low of getting this, and especially in Canada, because I have no hesitation in saying that we are doing a better job than most other countries, and especially the United States. And hey, I like to think that I'm open for a mind change, meaning this, that I'm not a fan of Doug Ford, who is, if you're not Canadian, he is the premier of the province of Ontario, just like you would have a governor in a state. I am not a fan of his. But I think he's done a really good job. I think he's presented himself in a really humble way. I feel like he's stepped up to the occasion. I feel like I'm confident in him and Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of this country, and in my case where I live, the Mayor John Tory in the city where I live. I feel like they got this as much as you can have something, right? It's like World War II. You could look and say, hey, FDR, I have faith that he's going to do the best thing for us, or for you if you were alive at the time. But that didn't mean that necessarily you didn't think it was going to be a horrible time. I guess I'm leading to the point that I don't have that same faith in Donald Trump. And I just finished watching a news conference, and it's like magnified my anxiety by 5 times, because I don't feel like he has any clue what's going on. It sounded to me like a guy who was in so far over his head without knowing he's over his head. It's like he's the guy who's diving into the water. He can't swim, but he's into the deep end. And where does that lead? I guess I'm a little bit off topic, but hey, it's our Landsblog, so we can do any topic we want. So I want to know how you're doing with your anxiety. And we are going to do something daily that will relate to this. That's a tease in the TV business. SickNotWeak.com, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We're here because we need to be here.